Welcome to my channel. This is Jason Cappuccino, Sashes&Scripts, and today we have Miss Philippines Earth, Yllana Aduana, before she leaves for Vietnam later this month. Okay, so Yllana, can you tell us something about your preparations before you leave?
Yeah, so ever since I was crowned Miss Earth Philippines last April 29th of 2023, well, I've actually never stopped training all along, even the travels across the Philippines, all 17 regions. I consider that training. And up until the very last moment till I leave for Vietnam, I will definitely be preparing. And we're actually now in the final stretch of the preparation since in just 6 days I'll be flying to Vietnam. So everything's so exciting. I feel like at this point I am 101% ready now to bring back home, hopefully, the Miss Earth crown here in the Philippines.
So, Yllana, we are gunning for our 5th Miss Earth crown, right? So, with a lot of the winners in most international big pageants in the international scene are the Latinas. Do you think that an Asian can win Miss Earth with you in the mix?
I mean, honestly, all I can say is anything can happen, especially with the hard work that I know that I have within me. Also, my commitment to the journey and the passion and the purpose that I have to be really of service, to people and the planet. Definitely, I am really hoping, fingers crossed, but really my prayers stronger and my hard work and commitment to its greatest maximum to really bring back home the crown for the Philippines and for Team Asia.
Ayan. And you mentioned earlier that you have traveled to all 17 regions here in the Philippines. So can you tell us more about that and what have you done in terms of promoting the advocacy of the Miss Earth pageant throughout your travels?
Definitely. So I've actually been traveling to all 17 regions of our beautiful country, the Philippines. What I've been doing, Sir Justin, is I've been conducting 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals aligned community outreaches. And because in the world of pageantry, there is really a connotation that when you are an Earth Queen, you should only be focusing on tree planting activities or waste cleanup drives, ocean cleanups. But for me, I wanted to take the platform and to raise awareness that Earth Queens can be more than just that. So I've been advocating for the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations in hopes for people to understand the imperative of their interconnection to the nature and vice versa. So for example, the good health and well-being towards the nature, gender equality towards nature and vice versa. And if I may just quickly take this moment to briefly talk about the interconnection of SDG 5 or gender equality towards the nature, because when I was still studying about it, I really had a hard time talking about it and finding the connection between the gender and the nature.
Yeah.
But I realized that when women are really supported in the community in terms of education, in terms of the jobs and industry, then they will be more aware of the career path that they want to lead or that they want to pursue in the future. So that leads to greater attainments in life. Whereas if they are less supported, then they would rather gravitate towards early pregnancy, teenage marriage, and what happens after that is, of course, it will lead to improper allocation of resources, which contributes to the overpopulation and the burgeoning population. And definitely there's just a lot of interconnection within things, and that is what I've been hoping to take up the platform and to really raise awareness on those.
Okay, since we're speaking with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, this is something that is being rolled out not only to pageantry but also in every aspect of society, because in school we are being encouraged in having to include in our curriculum sustainability in our lectures, in our in our curriculum. So what do you think is the added push that is needed for pageant fans to be more aware with the Sustainable Development Goals? Because this is not definitely a one-time thing. It has to be something that is being done on a regular basis.
Exactly, and I would have to agree to that, and especially that I was able to attend the 4th Global Conference of the United Nations, 4th Global Conference on Strengthening Synergies between the Paris Agreement and the 2030 Agenda. And I was there in the room full of world leaders, youth great leaders from all across the nation. And one thing I've realized is we can all be there, gathered up all together, raising awareness on the several ordinances of different countries, coming up with solutions, and coming up with the fixes to the dilemmas. But one thing I've realized is without an effective ambassadors and also an effective spokesperson to really cascade all of those information from that same room to other regular people, regular countrymen, then everything would go into waste. All efforts would go into waste. So definitely an added push would have to be really raising awareness. And as beauty queens, I feel like we really have this platform to talk about those. And that is what I've been meaning to do. And that is what I have been doing for the past 7 months of my reign as the Miss Earth Philippines, to be an effective ambassador to raise about it.
Since we are talking about pageantry and the United Nations Sustainability Goals, Miss Earth and another pageant, Miss International, has included that in their program. So, what do you think is the first step that some pageant girls need to learn about the SDGs so that they can start including that into their social platforms?
Yes, honestly, there are about 17 sustainable development goals that any pageant girl or beauty queen out there can truly promote. Because imagine if all the beauty queens would definitely use their platform to and their voice to individually, pick one SDG and promote it at all costs, then imagine how much greener and how much more sustainable our planet would be. For example, when you are, advocating for no poverty, then you can pick SDG 1 for that, or like no hunger, then you can pick SDG 2 for that. And we can always take up the platform to interconnect it to with the nature, our economic goals, and even our environmental progression.
Okay, sustainability is a very huge buzzword in today's discussions. How do you think you would be able to promote sustainability in the conversation as a potential Miss Earth winner?
For me, I've always been living the zero waste and a sustainable lifestyle ever since I was younger, because I really live in a very sustainable household. All thanks to my parents for, even at such a young age, I was made aware of the importance of sustainability. At the same time, they made me realize that sustainability can really be the way to stabilize everything that is happening in my life, because it is a way of life. So with just as simple as gravitating towards transitioning something wasteful into something useful, and also incorporating, with our fashion as beauty queens, there are a lot of grassroots activities that one person can really gravitate towards to, so that they can also promote sustainability. Because we have to understand that even with our little efforts, when they accumulate all together, and when you inspire other people to do it with you, that can really be the most impactful thing that you can do with your platform.
Okay, Yana, thank you very much for this opportunity to interview you. Now, can we ask you to invite our Sashes and Scripts audience and our pageant community, to support you in your competition in Vietnam?
Hello po everyone! Again, isang makakalikasang araw po. This is again your Miss Earth Philippines 2023, Yllana Aduana. And I hope for your all-out support, your warmth and love as I compete and represent our beloved country, the Philippines, to the upcoming Miss Earth competition happening in Vietnam. I will be expecting for all-out support, and I promise you that I will also be doing my best to best represent the Philippines this year, and hopefully bring back home the Miss Earth crown here in the Philippines and celebrate Christmas all together with a very happy spirit.
Thank you, Yana, and we wish you well in your competition.
Thank you. Come on.